Hello there folks, welcome to the Tech Prattle, and today we are going to talk about Nokia 1.3. Now this is one of the cheaper devices you will get from Nokia. It retails for around 79 quid or thereabouts depending on region of your market, and you can have it for around 50 to 60 quid if you are looking to buy it online. So let's have a closer look at the device and let's dive in. Now this is the first Android Go device I'm looking at. For the price you would not be expecting Gorilla Glass or anything like that. It doesn't have one, but it does have a glass screen, a 5 megapixel selfie camera at the top, which can do 720p at 30 fps video as well. Nokia logo here, volume up and down button on the right hand side, and followed by a power button. The phone charges using micro USB 2.0, which is a bit of a shame, but then given the price point it is completely expected. Then you have a solitary button here on the left hand side, I think which is to do, it uses it to summon Google Assistant on the phone. The construction on the back is completely plastic. You have a solitary 8 megapixel camera followed by a flash. The phone also has a headphone jack to go with it. The other thing about the phone is you can take the back panel off and you can replace the battery yourselves. So this phone comes with a user replaceable battery. As you can see from the text here, the battery is around 3000 milliamp hours, and for the specs of the phone it should be plenty enough. 2 slots for SIM card and a slot to put in your micro SD cards as well. So let's stick the battery back in and the panel, and let's turn it on. So continuing on with the hardware of the phone, this is a LCD screen. They class it as a HD plus display, which is effectively 720 by 1520 pixels. The screen can go as bright as 400 nits, which is plenty enough for most of the average use case scenarios. The phone has a Qualcomm processor, one of the lower end ones, which is a QM215, has 4 cores with a peak speed of 1.31 gigahertz on each one of them. So there are no big core, small core configurations here. It's just all the 4 cores are clocked at the same speed. It has 16 gigs of space with a RAM of 1 gig. The space itself should not be much of an issue, as you have a slot for micro SD card here. This is running Android Go 10. Main features of this version of Android is that it is supposed to be much more leaner compared to the full fat Android experience. This seems to be the case given that the low powered processor this phone has compared to the other processors in the market currently. And actually, while I was playing around with this phone, I got an update as well. The fact, I guess, that it is Android Go, and also that Nokia doesn't have any heavy customization on the OS or the launcher, so it is comparatively easy for Google to push out newest and latest updates to the phones. One of the things which irks me a bit on this is that you only see 3 toggle buttons by default. You can swipe to the right to go through all the other options you have here, which are fairly standard, and you can edit them as well to move them around, but for whatever reason it doesn't give you an option to show all of them at once. So the maximum you see on the notification are the 3 toggle buttons, and if you swipe down further you will probably see the brightness control here as well. The phone does have a dark theme, so if I click on that, hopefully it should change to the dark theme. As you can see, I didn't find a way to add any extra home screens to my phone's desktop. It might be just me being dumb, but I couldn't find a way to do that. But we have to keep in mind that this is Android Go, and also one of the cheapest phone you can get from one of the comparatively reputable companies such as Nokia. Pretty much vanilla Android for the most part. So you do have a dialer here. It feels pretty much similar to the standard Android dialer, obviously with some differences. You don't have things like auto caller recognition or anything like that here. So there are things which are a bit different. So you have this Android Go camera. It might be Nokia's implementation of the camera software, and the pictures are more or less fine for an 8 megapixel shooter. Obviously not good enough for you to maybe blow it out and print a big size poster out of it, but the pictures are pretty crisp and clear if you give it plenty of daylight. HDR is an option when you take photos, and videos are a fairly standard affair for an 8 megapixel camera. They can take up to 720p at 30 frames per second.
So this video is coming straight off this phone. My voice is coming off that as well. As you can see, the video quality is not bad. It's not the best, but it's certainly not bad.
Some of the apps which do differ also are things like Google Assistant, which is now called Go Assistant. You can also summon it by pressing the button here. Other things which are specific to Android Go are things like maps. They look and feel the same for the most part. They're obviously the cut down version of the full software. Then you have the gallery, which is called Gallery Go, and you also have Gmail, which is now Gmail Go. You have a YouTube Go version as well here. So when you click on the video in YouTube Go, it gives you an option for data saver, standard quality and high quality. You can select that and it starts playing the video. One of the things you will realize, it's fairly a cut down experience here. You can't, for example, swipe down to minimize the video while remaining in the YouTube app and things like that. The other thing which annoys me a bit is if you click on the video again, it will present you with the same options for you to choose. Maybe that's because you might want to select different preferences for different types of video you're watching here. So the phone speaker situation is that it has one speaker at the back here. So just a mono speaker. The volume is alright. Again, remember the price. If you're holding it in landscape, you can get away with it, but sometimes you can cover the opening for the speaker as well, resulting in a more muffled sound. The phone doesn't have a fingerprint scanner, if you haven't noticed by now. It doesn't have a fingerprint scanner on the back. Obviously no on-screen fingerprint scanner. For the price point, you wouldn't expect that. So one of the things you do notice is that the phone is slow to react to your actions. The basic actions are fine, but the moment you, for example, click on the dialer to make a call, you can see how much time it takes to bring up the dialer on the screen. And similarly on the camera, it takes some time before it is ready to take photographs. Although once you have it in the memory, the next time you click on it, it's comparatively quicker. So that's all I had on the phone. It's good to see phones at this price point from comparatively reputable companies like Nokia. The only thing I will point out is that don't make a judgment on Android Go based on this phone. So as you can see, this is a bit sluggish, but I think the reason behind that is, as lean as Android Go is, I think the chipset they have put in this phone is a bit underpowered even for that. With a slightly better chipset, I think it will perform much better and respond much quicker to all your actions. So that's my take on Nokia 1.3 running Android Go. If you did like it, please click the like button and maybe subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.